children, they know what is right and what is wrong. The other program is to look into the social kind of science, natural science, and technology, including mathematics. Foundations of health, safety, and nutrition in ECCE centers. Holistic development of young children in terms of early learning development areas that we have to look into. Management in ECD. We're finding that in our centers, we have people that are managing the centers, and they have not been trained in center management. We do have a qualification for ECD Management Center because you are differentiating between the management and the governance of the center and the practitioners that must do teaching and learning. You can't be a referee and a player. And those are the skills that must be acquired in order to do that. And also looking into the issues of inclusive education as well as play-based learning in early childhood care and development. I know that now you are just threatening me. Let me just go to the conclusion. Ours is really to support and strengthen ECCE at the community level. That's why we work with the NPOs and NGOs. But those must be having the kind of the skills that are required. It's not business as usual. We are looking at sustainable leaders that are not looking at profits only, but they are looking on the issues of socio-economic issues and the environment. Then we're also looking in terms of the issues around early learning, as I've said, nutrition and care, professional development, policy, communication and implementation. That awareness is very important. The research chairs have given us a model of looking into the centers. If you don't have the centers, you develop the hubs. The hubs are functioning more like the centers, but they are smaller so that you can have some kind of focus. We'll provide the department with the tools and the models in terms of those hubs. The issues around the registrations have been dealt with. Let me not get into that. Moving forward, we're looking at a strong ECCE sector, and we require focused investment in training, research, qualifications, and collaboration, as one has indicated. This can be done and accomplished through solidarity, strategic partnership, and we pledge to be one for the Eastern Cape Department of Education and all the provinces that we're having. As we have pledged, the money that I will not disclose, that I will have a discussion with the minister, with the ministry, to support early childhood care and education, the foundations of learning. We have already set aside that starter pack so that we can be able to move forward. We are looking into issues of equity by expanding access to quality training for all. Hence, we're saying that these programs, if they are not accredited, they must be endorsed by SACE. And if not, we'll lose the issues around quality and equity. Sustainability, we want to build a well-trained, resilient workforce and promote evidence-based innovative solutions for long-term impact. And sustainability is about creating the future, is about ensuring that the today investment does not destroy tomorrow's impact. That's what we need to look into. By empowering ECCE practitioners, we not only uplift a critical education tier, but also build future leaders, ensuring inclusive growth and equity across generations. This is the pledge that we want to make. And those that would be working with us, we have to work together and build these resilient kind of future leaders based on principles of ethics, working together for sustainable development in our country. I thank you.
Let's do the hands again quickly. May I apologize in the Women's Month, ma'am, for stage harassing you. That was unfair, but thank you for the input. A different leader, a different trainer, a different practitioner. There are other differences that you've outlined. Thank you for that input. I know I had promised some opportunity to the questions and answer. Now a person of my height is allowed to change fact. I'm no longer going that route because we need to use this venue for the gala dinner. So they need to organize this venue. So there are processes that we just want to do the summations. Then there's a poll that's going to come up. There are 4 questions you're going to be asked, so that's going to assist in the questions. Now, as I'm also just concluding with 2 points, Treasury is in the room. So the Department of Education, as you are preparing your budget bid, these issues we are hearing, they must be captured. Office of the Premier is in the room. Office of the Premier, I think already you are typing now the paragraph that the Premier will be pronouncing at the policy speech in 2026 as he reads his State of the Province address. I do have some words I've also put together where he is going to announce that. The Department of Education, which we are congratulating because of the improvement in terms of the audit status for the first time. Premier Kivit, at one point in time, had announced that she thinks it's this year. It didn't happen. Premier Maswale had announced again that I think this year it didn't happen. Premier Mabuyane 1.0 announced again, it didn't happen. It happened at Premier Mabuyane 2.0. That's when we then got the clean audit, the improved audit outcomes. Thank you very much for, and what we are receiving, I think this department is capable. May I then request Mr. Mchida to come and do the summation. After that, we are going to do a 10-minute Mentimeter activity. That activity has got 4 questions. I'm surely believing that you are also then going to answer some questions that you have. Otherwise, for me, I'm quite excited I was here. On Friday, when I go back to the office, I will look like someone who's coming from G20.
Thank you so much, Program Director. Just as I was listening to the eloquent speakers who were rendering the beautiful messages on the different topics today, I was just wondering, what should this item, which is wrapping up, do? Because at first I thought that, could it be that I'm expected to give a summary of what every speaker was saying? But then as I was listening, I thought that I would be running a risk of distorting every beautiful message that was conveyed here. So I decided, as I am inviting Sistule to join me, that perhaps what I should do is just a rundown of what I considered to be the important highlights. And of course, without any ambition that it will cover every important thing that was said here today. That firstly, the very clear background, the political context that was given here by our political leadership in the Honorable Deputy Minister, as she is rising, the Honorable MEC, and the Honorable Executive Mayor, which was, of course, sealed by the learner, uNhlahla January. I thought that it gave us a very good context, even for some of us, because these platforms cannot but serve one important purpose, that of empowering all of us. Understand what is it, what do you mean when you're talking about G20? What is the role of our beautiful country, South Africa, in the discussions of G20? What does it actually mean when we say South Africa is hosting the 2025 G20 towards the end of the year? But most importantly, how do you locate this particular occasion in the greater scheme of things? What is the contribution of this occasion? I thought for me that was very important even for some of us who did not understand. That speakers kept on reminding us about the focus of this year's G20 summit on three very important principles of solidarity, equality, and sustainability, with the use of the theme Building Future Leaders with strong emphasis on ECD in the context of sustainable development and addressing inequalities. I thought that for me really stood up. Then the valuable inputs by various experts and professionals drawn from various disciplines, but to address this topic on the importance of what I've just learned as I was sitting next to Umamukese, that now there is a concept, Gutu, of ECCEs. I would have said ECD. But now it seems that there is somehow an expansion of this concept to give it more meaning, and that we are talking of ECCEs. So the various aspects, when I looked at the program, I saw that some of them are professors in some fields. We had actuarial scientists who were so articulating their message based from their professions so well that it fits the discussion of the day. But colleagues, the sharing of best practices by our Kenyan counterpart. Thank you so much, Martha, for sharing what your country is actually doing. We have picked up a number of similarities in what you were actually sharing with us. But also, there were some very important new lessons, I must confess, that we also have picked up from what you were saying. Thank you so much. But in conclusion, colleagues, before I hand over to Umama Ubula, what came up as common emphasis from all the messages was firstly the importance of building strong partnerships if you must be able to deliver a successful ECD program. The importance of teacher development, the importance of understanding the models of providing resources that must support ECD initiatives, and focused and structured early childhood care and education policies that we must actually develop. So that, in a nutshell, is what today has managed to achieve for all of us. But to conclude this part, can I ask then Mamubula just to finish off with a small part? Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, DDG Mkida. Good afternoon, honorable members in absentia and all colleagues and every important person in the room. Colleagues, quickly, DDG, you'll agree with me that in this room, we've got the top brains of the province and actually of the country and even outside the country. But not everybody will have an opportunity to speak on the podium. So we felt, let's do a Mentimeter, an exercise that is called a Mentimeter, in a way of trying to provide an opportunity for all participants to have a say as the Eastern Cape is building a template for foundational learning, quality foundational learning. There's a QR code that you can see there, colleagues. Please take out your cell phone and take a picture of that QR code, not a picture, but scan the QR code with your smartphone. Unfortunately, if you have a T-Lily, it won't work.
Yeah, the assumption is that it is not an Alcatel.
As well as an Alcatel and as Robbie says, one marketing. You'll find that there are 4 questions that will appear there on that link. And I would love us to go to the first question. And as we respond, we will see your response on the screen. And also our secretariat will capture the responses. The first question is, just in 1 or 2 words, what was the most impactful theme that was discussed at this G20 Indaba today? So that is the first question we expect you to respond to. I'll just give you a minute to respond to that. You see, people have started responding. Presentations by CETA, qualifications of ECD, quality access, so on and so on. I think let's move to the second question. The second question is, again, in 1 or 2 words, we don't want long sentences. Singabantwana bakwa ECCE. What is the single most important take home for you from this session? If you were to say, this is what I kept at, and it's going to assist us when we do our reflections. The role of parents, the quality that we have to work together. So people have started responding. Strong partnerships. So my secretariat is capturing the responses. Micro-credentials.